If you want to see how to turn deck boards, 2x2s, 4x8 sheet of foam into a stone pillar, stay tuned. Alright, welcome back to RAI Ventures. My name is John. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. If you ring the bell, you get notifications every time we upload something. If it's either Halloween projects, riding videos, RC videos, we do a mix of stuff. Right now, we are into the end of September. I have one big project I want to finish up. Ryan's still working on his 13 pumpkin patch. So first of all, for this stone pillar, I got some pressure treated deck boards that I am going to, off camera, I'm going to cut up, make a 28 inch by 28 inch square. I'm going to go ahead and nail that together. I will come back, I will show you the square just so you get an idea on how that is. This video is going to be more on the lines of what we do with the foam to get the cobblestone look. I'm currently working on one right now off camera, so hopefully this video goes pretty smooth. And again, if you have any questions, we read all the comments, but I do have an issue. Some of the comments do not come through on my notifications, so if I don't respond, comment again. It seems to help pull the video up in my notifications so I know that somebody commented. I don't remember who commented on one of the videos, but they wanted to know how much the monster mud weighed. I think it was on the Groom Reaper, the Mud Reaper video. It weighed somewhere around 10 pounds. The finished project, I don't know, but that burlap was heavy. So when you're making your understructure, make sure it can hold the weight. It does get lighter as it dries because that water evaporates. So I want to get started on this project. I will be back in a blink of an eye. Okay, I'm back. This is my square. I misspoke when I said it's 28 inches. It's actually 24. I forgot I wanted an inch for the foam to lay over top of it. This is going to be the base. This is what's going to touch the ground. I connected mine with pocket hole screws. You don't have to do that. You can take a piece of scrap wood and cut it so that it covers the joint. This is going to be underneath the foam, so it doesn't matter. Okay, since everybody's square might be a little different, what you want to do is you want to measure the inside square. Mine measures 13 1/4. So I went ahead and I cut 4 of the 2x2s at 13 1/4. I went ahead and pre-drilled them only because my screws are only 1 1/4 long. If you have a fastener that's long enough, you don't have to pre-drill them. So what you're going to do now is these are going to fasten on your base, and I do mine right around the outside diameter of this square. I guess if that's right, diameter of a square. Outside perimeter of the square. So what I'll do is I lay it out. I'm going to use 2x2s for the uprights, and they're going to go right in here like that. I'll show you close up here in a second. So what I want to do, I'm going to rig this up just like that. I'm gonna run a screw in this one. I'm gonna use this 2x2 as a straight edge. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so your base is gonna look something like this. Your foam will attach. I dropped it. So your foam's gonna attach on right there. I'm gonna have uprights of these 2x2s that I fasten right in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do these other two sides. I'm gonna figure out my uprights and I'll be right back. All right, quick update. It's been a couple days, but this is the base I came up with. 2x2s. I put a little bracing in the center to keep it square. The top of it, these 2x2s are the same length, 13 1/4 for mine, as the bottom. Alright, now all I'm going to do is start sheeting it up with the foam. Alright, what I did now is I ripped down some of the 2-inch foam board, 72 inches high by 16 1/8 wide. I've put some liquid nail on there. I'm also going to run a couple screws in it all the way around. Alright, this is where we're at now. If you notice, my two pieces that are 16 1/8, I have on opposite sides. They're glued, and I ran a couple drywall screws in there, countersunk them in the foam so they don't come out when you're molding it. I like to put the black writing facing in, so when you go to draw your stones on here, you have a blank canvas. Alright, now the next two pieces that I gotta cut them at 20 1/8 for both sides by 72 inches high. Alright, what I got now is I got all four sides on. This will be the base ring, or it'll look like a stone. It's 28 inches by 28 inches square. I cut out the center to fit over the top. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there, and I'm going to slip it down to the bottom. And then I'm going to glue it in place. Alright, I was working on the top of my pillar. The bottom side of the pillar consists of this square, which is the exact same size as this opening. Now on the top side of the pillar, I tiered it up with two other pieces of foam that I shaped out with a rasp. It's the same rasp that you use for drywall. I just knocked off the edge on both sides. But on these two, I can't get my sander in there, so I can do this bottom one with the sander. That's why I didn't bother doing that. This will go up on top just like this, fall into that hole, and there's my pillar. The next step on this project is I'm going to draw on my cobblestone and then route it out, and then I'm going to sand it to shape to make it look like stones. And this pillar here, I've already done it. This is what it'll look like. So, till tomorrow, when I make this one look like that. doing now is filling all the big gaps. I'm using Loctite spray foam. If you use Great Stuff, use the Great Stuff for windows. It doesn't expand as much. Alright, what I'm doing now is I have my Dremel tool. I got one of those side cutting bits in there. I have my depth set at about 1/4 inch. So I'm routing out the grout joints around the stones. So I'm just gonna have at it. Okay, what you just witnessed was me routing out all the grout joints. I told you before the time lapse that I set my depth at 1/4 inch, which I did. Now I wish I would have went a tad bit deeper. So now I'm gonna sand these stones and grout joints to make them look like real stones. So, it's kind of tedious and boring, so we're just gonna turn the music on and start sanding. Alright, so I'm gonna take my little palm sander. It has 60 grit paper on it. It doesn't have to be 60 grit paper, but I would like some deep scores and scratches. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on rounding this sharp corner. Then to get the surface, you'll have to watch, but every once in a while I'll rock it up on the tip. I'll do more on the tip of the sander, this part, and that'll give it texture like a rock, because a rock is not perfectly flat like that. Okay, right here, there's a dent in the foam. There was also one here. So you can see how I scored it up with the sander to get rid of that. So alright, I'm going to go ahead and time lapse this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a base coat of, I'm using gray dry lock. It's a pretty much a concrete masonry waterproof sealer. I'm using it because it's gritty, has like sand texture in it. but it also does not react to the foam. Like some paints will eat the foam, especially your aerosol, your spray paints. If it has any type of acetone, acetate in it, it will eat the foam. So it's hard to find spray paint to paint foam. So by using this dry lock sealer, I'll be able to use the spray paint and add detail later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually paint the top. I'll probably set the camera up just so I can time lapse it. The only thing I noticed on the one that I have done with the gargoyle out of foam, for some reason the liquid nail didn't want to dry. So I might have to find some other type of glue. I don't know why it reacted that way. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and start painting this one. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the gargoyle with the dry lock also. Just so that it's all one uniform color. That means the gargoyle matches the pillar. Alright, I'm just gonna finish this up and I'll show you the next step where I start laying in the black. Okay, with the gargoyle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the dry brush technique, dip your brush in the paint, dip your brush in the black paint, brush it off on something so that it's pretty well dry, and then I'm just going to hit the high spots. Give some definition back to his muscles and skeletons. So it'll look like that. It'll look a little dirty. And then I'm going to use the same technique on the pillar. I'm going to go a little heavy in the grout lines, but then I'm just going to hit the high spots on the, so that it'll look something like this when I'm all done. Then if I have some brown, I might dry brush a little brown on it. Okay, Ryan's brought it to my attention that I didn't film a completed picture of the stone pillars. So here they are. With the gargoyle on top with cloth wings. And there's the other one. So alright, that's the end of that project. You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. We'll see you on the next one.
Oh, hi. It's me again. I missed you. You remember?